Hello everyone, my name is Jane and welcome to my April TBR. How is it almost April 2022? Like honestly, I can't believe it. Time is passing so quickly. But we're here again today for my favorite time of the month, TBR time. And I'm really excited for April. Basically, I'm participating in a lot of readathons every month. But April is going to be more chill than usual. Because in April, I'm participating only in one readathon. Now I still have my TBR game, the TBR of Colors. And I also have a book club pick that I need to read in April. So there is still a lot of exciting stuff, and also the readathon that I'm participating in is a readathon that I am one of the leaders for this readathon. Basically, this readathon is the Continue-A-Thon, and it was created by Laura from Laura's Little Library. Now I will talk about the readathon and about everything later in the video. Like always, I will start with my TBR game, and honestly, I'm really excited to play my TBR game today, because usually I already have a set TBR before I play the game, because I have a lot of readathons, but April is just going to be more chill, so I'm just going to find out what I'm going to read today, and I'm really excited because I need more chill reading. I was in a bit of a reading slump recently. I feel like I'm already getting out of it and I'm catching up with my reading, but I'm glad that I have the opportunity to take it more slower in April. And yes, I'm just really excited. And before we will get to the TBR of Colors, I want to go over the one book that I know that I have to read in April, the book for my book club. Basically, I'm one of the co-hosts of the Enchanted book club. This is basically a book club that I'm hosting with a few of my booktube friends. Like always, all the links to the book club are in the video description, but every month we have a different theme, and for April the theme is sci-fi, and I'm really excited because I do want to read more sci-fi in 2022. It's one of my reading goals, and the pick for April is Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Now I have the Illumina Files trilogy on my TBR, but I still didn't read it, so Aurora Rising is going to be my first Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff book, and I'm really excited. Basically, from what I know, it's a YA sci-fi, and we are following some kind of a sci-fi academy. Some students are becoming a squad and they get a mission or just something like this. I love not to know too much about the books that I'm reading before I start to read them, so that's what I know, and I'm really excited. Honestly, I don't think that this is a book that I would pick on my own, although it's super popular and there is a ton of good reviews about it, so I am happy that we are reading it in April. I do think that there is a good chance for me to like it, at least that's what I'm hoping for. But yes, Aurora Rising is the book that I have to read, but now we will go to my TBR game, the TBR of Colors, and after it I will talk about the Continue-A-Thon. So we're here again with my TBR card, which means it's the TBR of Colors time. And basically the TBR game is very simple. I have a wheel of colors. If I land on a color, I need to choose a book with this color on the cover, and if I land on something else, it's usually a random prompt, random genre, like there is a different meaning for every slice. But I have the full rules in my January TBR, so I will link the full playlist if you want to check it out. But yes, like I said, I'm really excited to see which books I'm going to get. Okay, so let's start, and I'm doing 5 spins like every month, but I can get another spin if I will land on the rainbow slice. But let's go for the first spin. Yeah, I'm okay with white. I feel like I have white books on my TBR. Okay, so I have a book for white, and it's not majority white, but I think that it's a good enough amount for me to consider it white. And this is Maybe Someday by Colin Hoover. This is one of the books on my spring TBR. And if you are not new to my channel, you know that I love Colin Hoover so much. I really love her books, and I didn't read all of them, but I'm really trying to read all of her books, and especially her older releases, because I'm less intimidated to read them. So this is one of our older releases. It's the first book in a series, and we're basically following a girl that goes to college for the first time. She has a lot of friends, and she is popular, and she has a boyfriend, and her life seems perfect until her boyfriend is cheating on her. So this is just her story, and I'm so excited to read more by Colin Hoover. I just love her writing so much, and I think that I can count it as white because the whole book is very light, but you have white here and also here, and also the spine is pretty white, like also in the back it feels to me like a pretty white book, so I feel like I can count it. So this is my pick for white. So I removed white. I'm removing the colors so I won't get the same color twice. But yes, let's go for the second spin. Black is easy. I have so many black books on my TBR. Like, so far the TBR game is nice to me. Okay, so I have a ton of black books, but it was actually hard to pick which black book I want to read this month. But in the end I chose romance because I'm really in a romance mood in the past few months, and it's a romance that I got recently and I really want to read. And this is The Hex X by Erin Sterling. Basically, this is a fantasy contemporary story, and we are following a woman that is a witch, and 9 years ago she got through a really hard breakup, so she cursed her ex, and now 9 years later she is meeting her ex again, and she is realizing that maybe he isn't as mean as she thought. So it sounds to me like a second chance romance, and it's witchy with fantasy, and I didn't read a lot of contemporary witchy books, but so far I really like them. I just really love urban fantasy in usual, and I feel like it's so close to contemporary, which I love. And yes, I'm just really excited for it. It's also a very, very short book, and it just seems like a very fun time. Okay, now let's go for the fourth spin. Also, blue is a very easy color. Like, thank you TBR game, you're very nice to me right now. Okay, so for blue I have a book that I'm so excited about, and this is one of the books that I'm planning to read for the Continue-A-Thon, and this is Wires and Nerves by Marissa Meyer. This is basically a graphic novel series that is some kind of a companion series to the Lunar Chronicles. The Lunar Chronicles is one of my most favorite series that I read since I got back into reading, and I only read the series and not the all extra books and the all extra content, and this is one of them. It's a first book in a duology. I have also the second book, so it's basically a duology of graphic novels, and we're following one specific character that was a side character in the previous books. This is like her books and her journey, and I'm just really, really excited about it. I'm honestly not super sure what I think about the illustrations. I feel like it's very weird to see the characters that you imagined in illustrations. It's like seeing a movie of a book that you read. It's always different from how you imagined everything, so I'm not sure how much I'm vibing with the illustration style, but I guess that I will see when I will read it. Okay, so now let's go for the fourth spin. We still didn't got any prompt, only colors, so let's see what I'm going to get now. Okay, pink. I can work with it. Yeah, I think that I can find something. So for pink, I have an audiobook that I'm planning to read, and this is Under One Roof by Ellie Hazelwood. This is basically a first book in a new trilogy by Ellie Hazelwood. It's a trilogy of short romance novellas, and we are following a group of 3 best friends, and every book is about a different friend. So it's like standalones, but in a series, and all of them are going to be released in 2022. And the first one, I think, is going to be released only in April, but the audiobook was already released in Audible, and I'm anyway planning to read all of those books in the audiobook. And basically I'm just really excited to check her new book because I really enjoyed The Love Hypothesis. I really loved how geeky it was, and also this new trilogy is going to be geeky, so that's really, really exciting. And basically we are following a woman, and this woman is an engineer, and she is living with a roommate that she hates, so it's also forced proximity and also enemies to lovers. And yes, I'm just really, really excited to read this book. Okay, so now we are going for the last spin. Let's see if I will get any prompt this month or not. It was so close to get a random genre, but like you see, I got purple in the end, so I didn't got any prompt this month, so it's a 100% only colors TBR right now. Okay, so for purple, I'm going to count Aurora Rising. It's mostly black, and yes, I couldn't count it as the black book, but I forgot about it. But it also have a lot of purple, so I can count it as purple. So this is my pick for purple, and this is perfect because I will anyway read it in April. So this is the 5 books that I got in my TBR game, the TBR of Colors. I do want to mention that I'm a mood reader. I say it a lot on my channel, but it means that I won't force myself to read all of those 5 specific books, and if I want I will read something else, but I'm really trying to complete all of the prompts every month. I'm tracking it in my monthly wrap-ups, so I'm always talking about my TBR game and if I finished it or not. So this is my 5 books, but more important, those are the 5 prompts that I will have to finish in April. And yes, now let's go to my Continue-A-Thon TBR. So now we got to my my Continue-A-Thon TBR, and I'm really excited about this readathon. Basically, like I said, this readathon was created by Laura from Laura's Little Library, and she asked me and Hugo from Science Reading Board to be basically leaders for this readathon, and I'm just really excited to be a part of it. And Laura, thank you so much for asking me. And basically, this is a 2 weeks readathon between April 2nd and April 15th. I will link Laura's announcement video, and also Hugo did an announcement video, so I will link both of them and also all the readathon information in the video description, so you can check everything out. But basically, the whole theme of this readathon is to continue and finish series, which is perfect because I'm really bad at continuing series and I almost never continue or finish them. So I feel like this is a very good opportunity for me to go through my series. And now basically the whole readathon is pretty chill. You do have a list of prompts, but you can use those prompts how many times you like. And all of those prompts are pretty simple. Things like continue or finish a duology, continue or finish a trilogy, continue or finish a series. You get what I mean. And there is also prompts like continue or finish your oldest series or the longest series that you have on your TBR. So it's just really fun because you can read which series you want. And every time that you or continue or finish a series, you basically completed one challenge. And in the whole readathon, there is a ton of badges. They look so good. I really love the design that Laura made. But basically, once you complete one challenge, you get the 1 challenge completed badge. And you have the 3 challenges completed badge and then 5 challenges completed. So it goes to 5, 10, and 15. So basically, you just get more badges when you are reading more series. And yes, like I said, it's pretty chill, which I really love. And I have here 3 series that I really want to progress in. Now, because this is only a 2 weeks readathon, I don't think that I will get to all of those series, but getting to only one of them will be already an accomplishment for me because I almost never continue series. So my goal is at least to get to one of those series, hopefully more of them. Now, the 4th series is a series that I have a ton of companion novels for, and this is the Lunar Chronicles series. Like you already know, I have Wires and Nerves on my TBR because this is a graphic novel duology that I really want to get to, and it's considered as a series companion, and you can count companions as continuing a series, so it totally counts. And except this graphic novel duology, I do have here 2 novellas that are basically extra stories to the story. I have Fairest, which is the story of the villain of the Lunar Chronicles. It's not very long and I do want to read it for a while because I know that Marissa Meir created the whole Lunar Chronicles series based on this villain character. So this was the whole inspiration for this series. And the second one, Stars Above, is a short story collection of all of the characters in the series. The series has 4 books and there is 4 different main characters and a lot of love interests. So there is just a lot of characters, and I think that there is also stories here from their past and also from the future after the series ended. And except those 2, there is another new short story that was released by Marissa Meir, and it's basically about the wedding of the couple from the 4th book, Cinder and Kai, which is also my favorite couple of the series. So I also might read this one. But basically, like you can see, I have here 4 books and another short story. So there is a lot of books to this series. I don't think that I will complete everything. I do think that I prefer to get through the graphic novels because I'm more excited about them, but I might pick those first. But I do think that I'm going to read the graphic novel first because again, I'm just really excited about it. Now, except the Lunar Chronicles, the second series that I really want to read and to get through is the series of Astra Lost in Space. Basically, I talked about it in my spring TBR and also in my recent videos. It's a manga sci-fi series and I read the 1st volume, and basically there is only 5 volumes to this manga, so it's not a very long manga, and I really want to get through it, and I feel like it will be the perfect thing to read in a readathon because it's only 2 weeks, but this is a manga, so I can read it really fast. And basically I have here the 2nd volume and the 4th volume. The whole series is by Kenta Shinohara, and we are just following a group of teenagers that went to a school trip to space because this is a future world, and going to a trip to space just became something regular that everyone does. But something happens in this trip and they get lost in space, so they need to save themselves and to get back to Earth. I'm not sure if I will read the 2nd volume this month or next month because I do think that I might read it before the end of April, but if I will read it, I will have the 4th volume to read, and I am planning also to order the 2 last volumes in this manga series. But yes, I just feel like manga will be a perfect thing to read because I love feeling accomplished in readathons. That's also why I love reading graphic novels and mangas so much. And yes, I'm really excited to continue this series. And finally, I have a second and a fourth book of another series that I want to continue. It's a romance series, and this is the series of the Bromance Book Club. The second book is Undercover Bromance, and the fourth one is Crazy Stupid Bromance. Now, I'm not sure that I will get to the fourth one. I just want to show you in case that I will, but I do think that I really want to read the second one, and I think that I will read them in an audiobook. I read the first book also physically and also in audio, like mixed media, some parts in audio, some parts in text, but I feel like I want to read the second book only in audio because it's more easier and just more quicker. So again, there is a lot of series. I'm not sure that I will get to everything, but so far I have mostly graphic novels and mangas, and this one I will plan to read on audio, so I might also get to the fourth one, hopefully. But yes, like you saw, I have a pretty chill TBR. I'm so happy that I have also graphic novels and also mangas to continue, because again, I feel like it will make me feel so accomplished, and I really hope to maybe finish one of those series, like at least the copies that I have physically with me. And yes, I'm just really happy that I'm finally continuing series, because I really need to continue series. So if you also need to continue or finish a lot of series, please join us. Again, all the info will be in the video description. There is also a Twitter, and we also plan to do some live reading sprints, so I'm just really excited. So please join us, and I think it will be so fun, and I'm really excited. So yes, this is my April TBR. I'm feeling so happy about it. Also, the colors that I got are pretty easy for me, so I feel like I have a really good chance of completing everything. And again, I'm a mood reader, so it means that I will probably won't read all of those specific books, but I still feel like I chose a lot of books that I'm really excited about, so the chances of me completing everything is very high. And also the books that I chose are pretty easy, like a lot of graphic novels and mangas, and also a lot of short romances, which is perfect. And yes, I'm just feeling really positive, and I feel like my TBR game was really good to me today, and I'm just really excited to take it more chill in April. So yes, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please join us in the Continue-A-Thon, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone!